Aloe Maize.
Member representing Ikua South Federal Constituency, Mr. Speaker, I'm from Ebonyi State. Motion on the Decongestion of Correctional Service Center in Nigeria. This motion has been moved by myself and my colleagues, Honorable Imebi Okon. Mr. Speaker, resolve of this motion urge the Federal Ministry of Interior to rehabilitate and decongest Nigeria correction centers, address both short-term and long-term challenges, and make provision for the project in 2024 budget estimate. Also, urge the National Human Rights Commission and the Legal Aid Council to conduct independent assignment of correction centers across the country to ensure compliance with a global standard and human rights principle. Mandate the Committee on Interior, Human Rights and Justice to ensure compliance. Mr. Speaker, I hereby move.
Thank you. Any seconder to this?
I'm Right Honorable Comrade Chinedu N, member representing Ikua South Federal Constituency. I'm from Ebonyi State. Yes, the motion I move is the congestion of the Nigeria prison, Nigeria Correctional Service in all the states, the 36 states include FCT. There is so much crowded, and that is what leading to insecurity in this country. In the sense that we need to decongest the prison and reintegrate the offenders. Most of them that are there are innocent. Some are in political detainee, some are criminals, some have really committed the offense. But the only thing in which we can do it to help this nation so that we can come out insecurity is reintegrating them, really purely implementing what reform all about, reformatory system. How do we reform this inmate? By giving them an integration on entrepreneur, on training them on skills, carpentry, innovation, technology, tailoring, and so many other things, keeping their mind busy. Any human being that is busy trading, working, or doing things cannot indulge into crime. It's because they are not focused or doing anything that lead them to crime. And that is why we continue the recurring of all this criminality, breaking of prison, armed robbery, murder cases. And I'm urging the federal government they should look inward into reformatory institutions by creating more budget into reformatory. It's not only about police alone. It's not only about army alone. It's not only about civil defense alone. If reformatory budget are being looked into, to make sure that the entrepreneur in the reformatory institution are looked into, juvenile are looked into, and remand homes are looked into, you will see so many people when they are out there, they will never think of to indulge into crime because they have learned the skills there, and that skill will help them to keep them busy and place food before their table, and they cannot afford to indulge into crime again. So that is why we looked towards that. Almost about 70,000 people are in inmates in all the prison court across the country. And out of these 70,000 people, is only 22% are convicted. Almost about 48 are not convicted. And we cannot achieve it. Some of them, because they have a land problem, the person is buoyant, is able to galvanize and put them into prison. So let us really implement this. I'm urging the governors, let them do the needful. It's not about the federal government alone. Let them look inward what we can do. Unlike the people we are now harnessing here from China and other Western world are prisoners. And we bring them here and engage them as an expertise and pay them in dollars. Why can't we make a resourceful, useful of this our people? Someone you keep him 6 years, 3 years, 6 years, 4 years, some in 20 years. Within the moment of 4 years, such person have learned a very good trade or a very good handwork that can feed him throughout his lifetime. So that is the major things we are looking at. Watch out now. The ration feeding of an inmate is 750 a day. You as a person, can 750 feed you? Today we had information that is a jailbreak in Cross River over demonstration on their feeding because they are not well fed. But if we are able to implement what reformatory is all about, we have some resettlement in correction services, cultivate there, generate revenue, and this trusted fund is approved. Nigeria will generate revenue from reformatory center. Western world will come. We have met United Nations. They are doing a lot. They are already rehabilitating prison in Bruno. They are already building health center in Bruno. And such a thing will revive it and make it conducive. And make it to become a reformatory, what we call it for. Not a place where you go and learn more crime. A place where you see there is no any crime that committed in this country. If the security agents are telling us the truth, it's being teleguided from people in the prison. And it's almost those that have been there lead such operation. We need to kind of give them an orientation, groom them psychologically, reorient them, and integrate them to the society by giving them a new step in life to have something doing. It will really help us. And that is the extent of the motion we move today. And that is the extent of the bill you find out that passed the first reading, that the federal government should statutorily devote a fund for correction services. So many correction services today is leaking. So many inmates today are not healthy. There is so many things. And you bring somebody that is suffering from tuberculosis, somebody that is suffering from hepatitis B, somebody that is suffering different things and HIV, and put in the same place with somebody that is healthy. You are creating more problem. So what we need to do is that let us put what we really mention the place for, according to the act, reformatory, to make sure we reform the life of the young people and the people that are there. They are human beings like us. Former president, we are there in prison. So many other people. We should look inward. We should stop to neglect the reformatory center. If we are able to put up some percentage of allocation in those places, it will help. The crime will reduce drastically.
Harlow Mays, parliamentary advocacy and journalism redefined.